Felix, Television New Zealand, I wanted to take you back to your Munster days. How much did you learn maybe about the New Zealand rugby ways through people like Doug Howlett and or Rob Penny?
Yeah, Doug was my first roommate when I first joined Munster. So I was a young kind of fullback winger at that stage, and I couldn't believe my luck who I got roomed with. So I think Tony McGann was our coach at that stage, and I think he probably did it on purpose. So learned from one of the best there. Doug was a great mentor, a really good person, and somebody that I stayed close with all the way even until after we both retired from playing. And I know he's back now and enjoying life back home. And then Rob was a brilliant coach for my development. Really changed the way I thought about the game. Really did changed the way a lot of, I think, even some of the current players in Munster who are still playing and playing for Ireland played the game. So yeah, two great people.
You still keep in touch with Doug?
Yeah, intermittently, and Rob as well. Every now and again, there's the odd text flowing.
Coming, Craig.
Hi, Felix. Craig Gray. Will you guys be sort of talking about the history of the rivalry and what happened in '95 as part of your mental build-up? I mean, the All Blacks were saying that they're going to get their detail down in the week, but as they get closer to the weekend, they will tap into history as part of their motivation. Will the Springboks be doing the same?
Yeah, I don't think it's something that's been thrown around too much early in the week anyway, probably similar there. But I think everyone knows and everyone has it in their mind that, they're conscious of the rivalry. They're conscious that this is, another time we can meet New Zealand in a final. It drives excitement, I think, and just adds to the occasion.
Ollie Ritchie, TV3 New Zealand. What improvements, shifts have you noticed in the All Blacks game throughout this World Cup, I suppose, since you played them at Twickenham?
Yeah, well, I think the introduction of Joe and Jason Ryan, and I think there has been many good developments in their game, not just one area. If I had to highlight one, I would say the ruck, I think, has been excellent. They do appear to be a very complete team. I think there's been development in their kicking game, the way they put you under pressure, not only with their passing game, but their ability to also use the ball off their foot. So I would say probably those two areas would be key.
Hey Felix, how are you?
Hey Murray.
It's a big question, could you sum up what it's meant to you to be part of the Springboks setup for these last few years?
A hard question. I don't think I could sum it up. I can just say that I'm really grateful, and I have a lot of gratitude to not only the management but the players as well, and the people behind the scenes, and then the greater rugby community in South Africa, and all the guys, the franchises, the coaches there, and for welcoming me and all of our coaches in. And it's just it's been incredible.
How tricky has it been with a young family?
Yeah, it's been tricky, but we had we were out there for a good while during the Lions tour. I had a really good experience there with my boys in the school there in Parle, and they're back in Dublin now. So I look forward after next week to maybe getting a bit of time at home.
You can do Kunning again. You just touched on the All Black kicking game just now. Last week, the Springbok kicking game perhaps didn't work as well as it did at Twickenham. Is that minor tweaks to your game, or does that require a major adjustment to your approach?
I think probably the bigger thing was that the credit to England, their execution of theirs and their execution of the pressure on us was really incredible. I think Alex Mitchell kicked the ball incredibly well, really accurately. And Owen Farrell also put the ball in behind us very intelligently. So I think it was more of a reflection of the execution and the intensity at which England brought to the party last week. And I think the conditions made things really, really tricky. I'm not sure if it showed it on the TV, but the ball was extremely wet. It was lashing rain, so yeah.
Jerry?
Hi, Felix. Jerry Thorne here. Could you talk to us about how your role with the Springboks has evolved over the last 4.5 years, where you started from before the last World Cup to what it is now?
Yeah, I think initially when I first came in, there was a lot of familiarity with how things were being done, because it was Rassie, Jack, and Aled Walters at the time. So it was quite a quick transition, and there was a lot of similarities. And I think they were expecting me to do some very similar things that I was doing in Munster when we were all together. So slotting in was fairly straightforward. And from there, I mean, because it's been over 4 years now, things just develop naturally. But in terms of you taking on other responsibilities, relinquishing other responsibilities, and just trying to figure out, without, I don't think there's anything formal that I could say here. So you do this and this and this, but you just figure out what is actually going to make the team operate better. How's it going to, not only our management team but the actual team. I'd say it's a little bit more kind of organic the way things have gone, and you're just constantly trying to improve things. I don't think I could put it into a formal structure.
You seem more animated than you used to be as a coach. I don't know, is that just because you're more emotionally invested now, or Rassie's personality rubbing off on you?
No, I think the weekend in particular is just it was a World Cup semi-final, and it was we were behind on the scoreboard, and we had to find some solutions.
Hey, Felix. Just on that, can you take us inside that coaching box? Because whether it's you running down to try and make changes midway through the first half, or the kind of conflab midway through the second half, and even the emotion at the end, seemed like a very interesting place to be last Saturday night.
Yeah, it's definitely vibrant, and it was loud, it was intense, and sometimes when it's that loud, sometimes giving a message over a radio or trying to communicate down is difficult, and sometimes you have to actually go down and try and get someone's attention and actually let them see how intentful or how much intent you have in the message that you're giving for it to actually stick with someone. So yeah, but we've always had a fairly vibrant coaching box, and I think that's the way we like it currently.
Very innovative coaching team. How has working with Jack and Rassie and everyone here changed your thinking on the game?
Yeah, they think about things differently than what you would expect. So you're just constantly, in a meeting or in a situation, say in a coaching box, or you're discussing tactics about something informally, and it's just another point of view that I think in most cases most people won't have considered, and it's been really valuable.
Hi, Felix. Is your view of Springbok rugby the same now than it was maybe before you took the job? Has it changed at all?
Yeah, there are certain parts that definitely have changed my view. I think probably before, and I think it's probably shared by maybe people that would have had a similar rugby upbringing in terms of the where and how and when we played. I think sometimes I think collision winning is actually a skill, and I think sometimes that can be considered as okay, it's just people hitting things, and I think actually there's a huge amount that goes into winning a collision, and I think that's something that I use this analogy when I had my boys in South Africa. They were playing rugby, and they're from a young age learning how to tackle hit shields and sausage bags, but they have them now also obviously playing rugby back in Ireland, and there's still a lot of big focus on skill development and identification of space. So I think obviously you do also do that in South Africa, and obviously in Ireland and Northern Hemisphere you also still hit shields and stuff, but I think even from a young age there, people start gathering skill sets early, and it becomes focused on one thing. And I think you have to consider it as a skill.
Good afternoon, Felix. Just a two-pronged question. Just take us through your eyes what you've seen and what you've made of Jack Nowell's tenure, and how he's just navigated what is his final week as Springbok coach. And then just talk us through how tricky selection will be for Saturday's game.
Okay, firstly on Jack, yeah, I mean Jack's just an incredible person. Unbelievable work ethic, unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. So, I mean, this week has been like no other. It's been the exact same as any other. Same process. I would have learned a huge amount in terms of how to build my week as a coach, but not for me, actually for delivery of the team performing. That's actually why. So, and your second question was. Yeah, it's really tricky. I think the announcement's tomorrow. Still a couple of final discussions, and yeah, it's really tricky. I mean, everyone is really putting up their hand, and obviously everyone really wants to play, and everyone will be preparing to perform. So it's difficult, yeah.
Bonjour, Felix. Bongi played for 80 minutes or then 160 minutes in his last two tests. Is his workload a concern?
Yeah, he's come through both of those games fine. So no, I think any player that's getting ready to play in a World Cup final won't moan about how many minutes they've had or anything like that. I think they'll be ready to go.
Hi Felix, Will from the Times here. How's it going? Is it quite an emotional week for you and maybe all the other coaches too? Because it's going to be the last time a lot of you are working together, especially with the Boks. Like, can you put into words what it means to you this week and your last week with the Boks?
Yeah, I don't think too much emotion has come into it. Yeah, it's more just you're still just in the hugely excited because of the game, and there's plenty of players that say on both sides that it might be their last ever game for South Africa or New Zealand, or might be their last ever game. So I think the coaches are taking a little bit backseat there and focusing on the players and making sure that the team vibe or the team atmosphere is correct. And
appreciate it's hard to look sort of back in a World Cup final week, but when you do look back at your time with the Boks, what do you think you'd be most proud of, or the achievements that you've had over the last 4.5 years?
Just how we've stuck together, I think. I think on field and off field, every team faces challenges. Sometimes you come out on the right side of the result, and there's been many games where we've lost in the last kick of the game or dying minutes. But I don't think I've ever really seen us, giving in or giving up. And I think off field as well, like there's so many challenges. I think in general in South Africa, but the guys just are constantly. It just makes them tighter.
Just the last one. Can you just give us a sense of how much you think you've grown as a coach over that period, like where you were in 2018-19 and where you are now? What sort of, I don't know, can you talk to us about the growth that you think you've made over those years?
It's hard to, because you're in the thick of it. I think I'll probably have to answer that in a couple of years' time, and I could probably give you a better answer of the effect it's had. I'd rather just say I'm just got a bit of so much gratitude for the experience.
Hi Felix, Dan from the Telegraph. Just quickly, can you confirm what role you're joining England in?
Yeah, I'm an assistant coach, so between myself and Richard and Steve, and that'll all get sorted out. I'd rather not go into that with the game on the weekend.
And a separate question: can you describe the energy that Faf brings to the team, not just as a player, but as a personality? What does he do when, I don't know what role he's going to be in this weekend, but when that blonde hair comes onto the pitch?
Yeah, in general, Faf is he's a great team man. Like you said, he's an energy giver. He radiates energy. Never negative, always positive. Finds solutions. He doesn't see the problems in situations. He's constantly trying to see the opportunity in situations, whether that's attack, defence, kicking, and he minds people around him. He minds the guys left and right in them. He's reminding them about plays. He's reminding people about their role in the defence. He's reminding people about their extras after training. He's just an incredible player in person.
Morning, Coach. Just 3 words from your side to describe Springbok rugby as one part, and then the other part, just how much you think the wet weather will play a part in the result on Saturday evening.
I think the weather, I think it's still changing. It changed as of yesterday as well, and if it is raining, well, obviously I think that'll probably limit both teams' abilities to move the ball like it does in any game, and probably increases the attrition because generally it will lead to more rucks. And then, what was the first question? I don't think I don't think you could do that. I think you can just say it's just something that is that the whole country gets behind, and we feel that support, and yeah, and we're going to be drawing on it again for this weekend.
We have enough time for at least 1 or 2 last questions for Felix before we bring in the players.
Hello, Guillaume from L'Équipe. You explained you were focused on the players during this week. Last Saturday, you decided to replace Libok after 30 minutes. It's not very common on current rugby. How did he react during this week? And did you talk with him to explain your choice to replace him?
Manny's been this week his normal self. He's been doing everything he has normally done for us since he came in with the group just over a year ago, and conducted his week as per normal. Normal, happy self, helps the guys around him, performs his extras, performs his detail, assists in meetings. There's been no difference to Manny.
Last question over there.
Hi. Felix, just going back to working with Rassie, when he does something sort of out of the box, is it a collaborative process? Does he talk to you guys about it, and are you a part of it, or is it something where you kind of catch up with him and learn from him in that way? And has it been a kind of a fun experience or frustrating at times, or what sort of emotion?
It's only been enjoyable. Yeah, there's times when Ras will have an idea that has definitely sprung by himself, and getting to discuss them then and running it past all of us agree. There's a huge amount of alignment when there is a new idea, whether it's been one of his or one of the other coaching members or management members or players. Everything gets discussed, and then everyone makes a plan, and we align on that. And if we agree, then great. And if somebody if somebody disagrees and they have a better plan, then we go with that. So it's always enjoyable.